So you're not suggesting, though, that spying occurred?
I don't, I guess you could, I think there's spying did occur. Yes, I think spying did occur.
Hello, folks. Mr. President. All you have to do is look at the basics and you'll see it looks like a very serious event, but we'll find out. When they look at the documents, I think people are going to see a lot of bad things happen. I hope it's not so, because if it is, there's never been anything like it in the history of our country. I mean, if you look at Clapper, he sort of admitted that they had spies in the campaign yesterday, inadvertently. But I hope it's not true, but it looks like it is.
Mr. President, the former FBI director, James Comey, said to use the word spy is the wrong word. He said spy.
I think James Comey's got a lot of problems. If you look at what he did, if you look at all of the lies, the tremendous lies, if you look at all that's going on, I think James Comey's got a lot of problems. Now, at some point, they have an IG report, and then let's see what James Comey has to say. But I assume he's covered in the IG report. But if you look at what he said, all of the lies, all of the fiction, I think he's got a lot of problems. Well, I don't want to get into it yet, but I will tell you after we look at the proof. Would he know? I would certainly hope not, but I think it's going to be pretty obvious after a while. So what I want from Rod, from the FBI, from everybody, we want transparency. And you know what? I think in their own way, they are obstructionists, but even the Democrats, I really believe, on this issue, it supersedes. I think they want transparency, too. Thank you. Thank you.
A shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who does not exist. A young loner on a crusade to champion the cause of the innocent, the helpless, the powerless, in a world of criminals who operate above the law.
Hey, it's me, and welcome to this video. Now, I want to talk about the case being brought by Jacob Schneebel and authorized by Moshe Garfinkel at the DOJ. Yeah, the documents case, which includes, before that, the raid on Mar-a-Lago. Now, as you can see from those clips that I played, it's very obvious that they've been looking for the Russiagate documents because they're covering up for Barack Obama and Joe Biden, but also the top FBI leadership, people at the DOJ, people at the CIA, even people at MI6, MI5 in Great Britain. And so they've been looking for these documents. You can see from some of the correspondence uncovered by America First Legal, but also by some of the documents in discovery that were uncovered via Judge Cannon in Florida. It showed that the White House was in touch with the National Archives almost right away after Joe Biden was inaugurated. They were looking for the Russiagate documents. It's very obvious. Now, it was illegal what they did. The White House was asking the National Archives to give 24 boxes of Trump documents. They had no right to do so, but they were looking for Russiagate documents. They were saying that they needed it for current business. Obviously, the National Archives, there's a lot of leftards working there, and also a bunch of dummies, right? They're librarians, basically. And they gave the boxes, but they never knew what Trump really had at Mar-a-Lago, right? So the FBI went there a couple of times under the pretense of making sure that everything's secure, but they were casing the place. They were checking stuff because they always had the intention to raid it. Because Joe Biden's in the White House, but Barack Obama's there in the shadows. And they're worried if President Trump returns to the White House or some other thing happens and these documents come out, it's very possible that Barack Obama could be prosecuted. We're talking about sabotaging a sitting U.S. president. We're talking about spying on a presidential campaign. Barack Obama authorized it. So did Joe Biden. And so did a lot of people at the FBI, the DOJ in general, but even the CIA. I mean, think of it. They were spying on a presidential campaign, and then they were sabotaging a sitting U.S. president. And a lot of that also had to do with Ukraine. These people wanted to set up President Trump and push for the Ukraine stuff. And that's why the first impeachment was about Ukraine. And all these players that were then testifying against Trump are now, rolling in the dough with all the money that's being sent to Ukraine. And they made it, right? So they all had a financial interest in sabotaging President Trump and then get the Benjamins later on with Biden in the White House. That's also why election 2020 turned out the way it did. But back to the Russiagate documents. So you have Bill Barr. He was saying that Obama spied on the Trump campaign. And so later on, he has been approached and suddenly he's like completely against Trump. Then now he's endorsing Trump. He's all over the place. But it's because they have a problem. You see, if President Trump is back in the White House, then these people are really FUCK'd. And so Bill Barr's already covering himself for the event that maybe President Trump will be back in the White House. A lot of people are very nervous and want those documents secured before President Trump is back in the White House. And by secured, I mean destroyed, right? Maybe they'll burn them just like they burned the Epstein client list. You'll never see that again. And the truth of the lawfare is really that it started out as Barack Obama and Joe Biden hunting for those documents, right? To protect themselves, because they know what they did. What they did is highly illegal. It's treason. And in many countries, something like that would lead to a death penalty for the both of them. But it evolved in something else. And as you can see from the documents from the Judge Cannon trial or pre-trial, it's really about this lawfare evolving into these people at NARA, or National Archives, and at the DOJ and the White House, looking for a crime. I mean, you can see it in the emails and the way they talk about it. It's like they were hoping to find something. In fact, they were desperate and obsessive about finding anything, something, that they can then turn into a case. So they haven't really succeeded, because what they're talking about now, it's a lot of BS. It's not a strong case at all. But you can see some of the talking points they had in the media. He was showing maps about North Korea or nuclear secrets, and all of that fizzled out because it wasn't true, right? But they were hunting and fishing for something. So we're talking about Stalinists or fascists looking for a crime, right? So President Trump is guilty of something and they'll find a crime. It's that simple. And so that's why you have a case now with Jacob Schneebel, or Jack Smith. I call him Jack Smithensteiner. They bring that guy in because he has no morals, no ethics. I mean, this is like a thug. He'll do anything. It's not like a real lawyer. This guy doesn't have a reputation. And his wife got millions from the Obamas producing the movies for them. So he's conflicted as well. Plus, he was illegally assigned as a special counsel. It's not even legal, but, rules and laws and standards, I mean, it all doesn't apply when they're going after Trump. So it's the same as what they did with Russiagate. So maybe later they'll look for the documents about this documents case to cover up for Jack Smith and Heinrich Merrick Garland and Joe Biden for what they did now. Because we're talking about something that is almost like a snowball of crimes and treason. They do the big thing. It evolves into what they did with election 2020, also the two impeachment events and the January 6th frame-up. And it just keeps on going. Then you have all this fake lawfare and a raid on Mar-a-Lago. I mean, they were even going through the room of Baron Trump and the drawers of Melania Trump mean, these people are sick. Maybe they thought the Russiagate documents were hidden in the drawer of lingerie or panties of Melania, right? Thinking, oh, they probably hid it there because they never thought we'd look there. So that's what they did. They raided the panty drawer of Melania Trump and even the bedroom of Barron Trump, right? Maybe under his mattress he had some kind of a nudie magazine or whatnot. And the Russiagate documents, right? Barron Trump in his bedroom. They'll never look there. But of course not, right? These people are sick. I mean, these people are really just sick. Because what we're talking about is criminals who committed treason and are then using the power of government, even the FBI, the DOJ, everything in their power to raid an American citizen. And even the warrant, all of it, was bogus. I mean, they're just making stuff up on the fly. And when you remember that raid, they threw documents on the floor, then they brought cover sheets that they themselves brought and placed it on top of some of the documents, took a picture, as if Trump was just throwing those documents on the floor. And the reason they did that is because by that time, they already knew that that's what Biden was doing with these documents. I mean, he had documents in the garage. I mean, they were just thrown there on the floor in the garage. And he had documents all over the place, right? But they didn't care about that. They didn't even care about Mike Pence and the documents he took. Why? Because they're looking for the Russiagate documents. And we're talking about specific documents that show Barack Obama was heavily involved in ordering this treasonous activity. What Barack Obama did is basically what a foreign spy agency would do. And what he did, no American president would do. And so I always say it wasn't a real American president. We all know that. But treason is treason, whether it's a real American president or not. He committed treason against the USA and against the sitting US president. And he continues to do so behind the scenes now, and Joe Biden likewise. You know, Joe Biden is an idiot. He's a buffoon. But he has spent 50 years in politics, dirty deals, 4 or 5 decades. I mean, the guy cannot even run a 7-Eleven, but he does know how to do dirty deals, right? And to have his son do the dirty deals with Burisma in Ukraine, or the mayor of Moscow, or Chinese spies. And so he was heavily involved. I mean, we're talking about dirty politicians. Okay, these people are treasonous and dirty. And now they're covering up for themselves. And to hell with the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, they don't care. But now it's also about staying in power. So you add that to the mix. So in the end, it's really an un-American activity. And even if they got the Russiagate documents, you know, President Trump knows what they did. He saw the documents. He knows everything that's in them. He probably can, you know, copy them down from memory. And I don't think Barack Obama can escape his fate. I mean, he committed treason against the USA, and he has to pay the price. Same with Joe Biden. But they're in power now, so, you know, part of this is keeping the power, staying in power, so that they don't get prosecuted for treason. That's what I think. And the same goes for the FBI, the CIA. These people are protecting themselves.